beautiful beaders, it's Gina from OrchidandOpal.com, and I'm back today with the December 2019 Bead Crate. This is the collector's edition. It's their larger box. They do have two different versions. This one is as low as $31 a month depending on how long you sign up, with free shipping, and then their enthusiast box, which is their smaller box, is as low as $18 a month plus shipping, again just depending on the length of your subscription. They do even offer a one-time box if you want to try out BeadCrate for one time and just see how you like it personally. And I'm really excited to share that for the first time ever I have a coupon code for BeadCrate. The coupon code is Orchid10, ORCHID10, and that will save you 10% off a one-time box or the first month of a month-to-month subscription. So if you've been on the fence about BeadCrate and you want to try it out, this might be a great time to do it. That code does expire on January 1st, so I will leave that code as well as the link to BeadCrate down below the video in the information section like I usually do, if you want to hop over there and get more specifics on how to sign up on their website. I also have nearly 2 years worth of unboxings if you are new to my channel or the subscription and want to check out past unboxings. So with all that out of the way, let's go ahead and open up our December box. Alright, so here's what we see when we open up the box. We have a note here, as well as our contents inside. Everything is in this white bag. And we have our little snowflake stamp. We always have a cute stamp on our box every month that goes along with our theme. It says, you wake up to a world covered in white. Slowly the snow gives up its colorful secrets. Pale blues, purples, and iridescent whites call to you to come and play. And so on the back, we see that our theme is called Jack Frost, so you get an idea of kind of what we're looking for. And here's our very well organized list of the contents that we will find inside. If you want to refer back to this for any reason, I'll leave this here for just a second. And I do want to point to these footnotes down below so you can see certain items are marked as collector's box items only or collector's amounts only. So the enthusiast or the smaller box may not get those particular strands, or they might get a little less. All right, so let's open up our wintry white bag and see what's inside. Alright, so here's our first bag. You can see that everything is labeled and goes with our list. And the first item, it says it's 3mm Aqua Drux, and there's 50 pieces in here. That is such a lovely shade of aqua. You can see the Druk beads. These are check glass. So this would be a good time to mention, if you're not familiar with BeadCrate, this is a great subscription for those of you who love check glass beads, because that's what you're going to find in these boxes are only high quality check glass beads with the additional Japanese seed bead tube, maybe a finding, maybe a stringing material, some type of extra, but most of what you will find is check glass. So here's our tiny little 3mm rounds in our cool blue aqua shade. And speaking of that shade of aqua, here is bag Bead, which says it contains 3x5mm aquamarine Rula beads. There's 5 grams in here. And as you can see, these are a 2-hole bead. They're kind of like a little brick, and you can see because these are a little bit translucent, the 2 holes that are running up and down this little rectangular shape. We have a very similar gorgeous shade of cool aqua blue here. And I love getting 2-hole beads like this. You will find that from time to time you will get not only 1-hole beads but 2-hole beads in your BeadCrate subscription. It's a great way to discover new shapes. And even with the length of subscription I've been getting and sharing, I'm still getting new things. So lots of fun for you check glass shape lovers. Here is selection C, and this contains 9mm luster sapphire fluted beads. Oh, these are so pretty. So we've gotten this shape before, I believe, if not something very similar to it, but you can see this has that almost a silver dusting over top of the medium blue glass. So you can see why it's called luster. As I move it gently under the light, you can see just how shiny it is. It's more than just the glossy glass. It's got a little extra glisten to it. So here we have 6 pieces, and you can see it's almost got like a little bit of a bicone shape, and then the extra texture on either side. Here's our next bag, which is selection D, and this contains 17x8mm alexandrite flattened ovals, and there's 12 beads on the strand. Definitely a perfect color to add into this mix for our theme. It's a light bluish purple, kind of lavender color. These are pretty substantial flattened ovals. You can see that these do let a lot of light through, and the hole is just running up and down the length of the bead. Next up we have Selection E. It says it contains 18mm matte backlit violet ice cabochons. There's 2 of them in here. These are quite pretty. You can see they have a subtle glow to them as I move them around under the light due to the fact that the back has that metallic coating on it. And they're kind of a medium periwinkle color, very bluish purple. And nice that we get 2. So this is just one example where if you got the enthusiast box, you would get 1 of these instead of 2. The collector's box gets 2 of those. And then we get to Selection F, which contains 3mm fire polish mountain glacier hurricane beads. These are so tiny, and look how much they sparkle with all those facets on them. Check fire polish is so beautiful. You'll also notice in these boxes you typically get several different sizes in check fire polish. So if you like to use those in your bead weaving or your other projects, it's a great way to accumulate different sizes. And again, we have this beautiful icy aqua blue. All right, our next selection here is G, and I can tell already that these have a luster on them through the bag. These are called 4mm fire polish snow shimmer, and you get a whole strand of these, 50 beads on the strand. And I adore these shimmer shades. You can see how it's kind of iridescent, much more fun to look at than just a basic white strand. These have a light dusted coating on all parts of the bead. And our next bag is H, and this contains a strand of 6mm fire polish light sapphire AB. Another stunning strand of check fire polish beads, that very icy, translucent, light sapphire blue. With the AB coating on parts of the beads, it gives it that iridescent or kind of rainbow metallic effect as you turn them under the light. Love the sparkle that this strand has. And then next we get to Selection I, and this contains Toho 80 seed beads in the color Ceylon Snowflake. So that would be our satiny white. Such a great staple item to have. You will notice that they switch off between different sizes of seed beads, but you will always get at least one selection of Japanese seed beads that coordinate really well with whatever the month's theme is. And that brings us to bag J, which contains 2mm suede gold crystal rounds, and it says there's 100 beads on the strand. So these have a bit of a luster on them too. They're not quite white and not quite clear. They also seem to have just the lightest dusting of that golden shimmer. These are so tiny, being that they're 2mm, but I'm actually glad to get this size because there have been a couple occasions where I was looking for 2mm beads and I had a really hard time. Lots of 3 and 4, but not a lot of 2. So this is a nice long strand in a great basic color that will be able to work into a lot of different projects. And that brings us to bag K. This is 6x6mm matte alexandrite AB bicones, and there's 50 pieces inside. And here we are again with that absolutely stunning lavender alexandrite color, and these absolutely glow. You have to love the matte finish with the AB. That combination just really gives the beads that glowy look. And you get a nice hefty handful here in the collector's amount, so it should go a long way. And these check glass bicones are quite rounded, so they're unlike bicones you might be used to seeing, either Chinese crystal or Swarovski, where they are faceted and much more angled. You can see the softer rounded edges on these that are a lot of fun to play with. So now we have Selection L, which contains 6x10mm alexandrite twisted barrels. There's 20 pieces in the bag. This is another great shape to play with. I think this will be especially good for stringing, maybe with some other shapes and textures. We have the beautiful alexandrite lavender tone, and the beads are not quite rectangular. They have a little bit of a twist to them, which makes them look extra glossy and shiny. And then we get to Selection M, and this bag contains an 8mm strand of light opaque turquoise. I love this pop of turquoise against all these other colors, just holding this here. That is so pretty. And I also really appreciate how they have mixed up the different finishes. So we have our opaque beads here. You also have a lot of translucent beads. You have some with the luster, some with the AB. And I think it really makes a big difference when you mix finishes and coatings like that. Makes pieces look more interesting, gives them more depth. So again, here we have another size of fire polish to add in with the other sizes we have gotten, and in a different color too. And I just have to hold this here just to appreciate how everything goes so well together. They do such a great job putting these boxes together month after month. It's truly a gift. All right, and that brings us to bag N, and this contains 6mm matte crystal amethyst German style triangles. And I do want to mention that from here to the end of the unboxing, these are all collector's exclusives, meaning these are only going to appear in the larger collector's box. So we have a bit of a color change, still going with that frosty look. And I'm loving these German style triangles. So they're just like rounds, so they're like 6mm rounds. But you can see that on 3 sides, they're kind of like table cut or flat. These are also different in the fact that if you look closely at the beads, you can see they're not just a flat color, and they're all just a little bit different. You have the swirls of both the amethyst purplish tone and that icy light pink. All right, moving on to our next bag. This is O, which contains 8x7mm matte alexandrite AB shells, and there's 25 in here. I thought these were shells, but I couldn't quite tell just on quick glance. I was actually hoping these were shells. So this is what I'm talking about. This is another new shape. As far as I can recall, I haven't seen this shape come in BeadCrate yet. These are so unique, again with the matte frosted lavender and the AB that just makes these glow. And quite a nice size handful here of beads, not just 4 or 6, for example. You really can make quite a few projects from these boxes. Here you can see the irregular shape of these, and you also have these details etched into the glass. And next we have P, and we have another tube here to look at. It says this contains 5x2mm super duos. It's a 2.5-inch tube, and it started to say that you'll either get matte light tanzanite or a color called crocus petal. And you can see that I got the matte light tanzanite color, this very frosty purplish tone, which I'm very excited to have. I don't have any super duos like this. Like I said before, I love getting 2-hole beads from time to time in the subscription also. I think it's so pretty looking at these. They're just a little bit deeper in tone than any of the other purplish tones we have. So I really like the contrast. Such a stunning bead mat we have here. All right, we're on our second to last bag. This is Q, and it contains 7mm matte aqua AB dimpled round beads. There's 25 in here, back with our gorgeous aqua color and a little bit of AB. You can already see through the bag. And here's your close-up on these. You can see why they're called dimpled rounds, and I think these are another new shape. They have those little craters on them, which stand out a lot more with that AB, where that coating shows up, which isn't on the entire bead, just parts of the bead. And you can really see under the light there how that AB finish over those little indentions has almost a glittery look. And we're at our very last bag. I almost don't want it to end. And this is Selection R, which is a strand of 8x6mm assorted linear cut drops. So thinking we have our night sky with our Aurora Borealis. Perfect way to end our box. Look at those cut drops. You have the faceting on the sides, and on the bottom and the top it's got the AB finish. Such a gorgeous contrast against the glossy black background. And a great way to add some darker beads to this otherwise much lighter color palette. Brings it all together. So that's it for our December 2019 BeadCrate. I think they did an amazing job once again. I absolutely love the subscription. I wouldn't keep getting it and being so enthusiastic if I wasn't actually serious about that. I still remember last December's like it was yesterday. If you hadn't seen that video, the color palette was all different shades of purples, icy purples, lavender. That was gorgeous too. So this kind of reminds me of last year's, except that it is totally different and you do have a lot of these icy blues and whites and different things mixed in. My point being, a lot of boxes are not that memorable for me. They always do such a great job, in my opinion, of putting together the themes and such unique check glass shapes to go along with them. Lots of fun surprises in store if you like that sort of thing. If that inspires your creativity to get things that you may not have expected, and things that work together very well in a color palette that ends up changing quite drastically from month to month. This month we got these icy blues and lavenders. Next month could be something totally different. Like I said, I encourage you to check out that playlist I have if you are new to the subscription to kind of get a feel for past month's boxes and the types of things that you can expect to find. Also, if you're on the fence or if you haven't signed up yet and you're interested, please take advantage of that coupon code ORCHID10 to save 10% off a one-time box or the first month of your subscription. This is the first time I'm offering a coupon code for BeadCrate, so it's just a great time to sign up. If you sign up now, it would be for the January box. I'm not here to sell you a box in any way. I just really enjoy sharing these unboxings with you guys and also giving you a chance to see if these types of boxes are right for you. So hopefully this was helpful for you to get another up close look, if not just fun to see all these gorgeous beads. Please feel free to leave me a comment down below. Let me know what you thought of this month's theme. If you are a subscriber, let us know what your experience has been with BeadCrate or anything else you'd like to say. I appreciate each and every one of you for being here, for viewing, and I hope you'll stay tuned for much more, including future videos where I will pull things from past boxes that you might see pop up from time to time in finished jewelry updates, tutorials, and that kind of thing. So until next time, I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day, and as always, happy beading. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. For more content like this, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell to be notified of my latest videos. You can check out the information section below this video for links to all my social media handles, recommended products, and my shop and blog at orchidandopal.com. Thanks for watching!